Hey guys, I'm Chris,
I'm Nat.
and welcome back to our channel. And if you're new to us, we are Mystery Repeats Itself. Welcome. We do a bunch of different videos, whether it's history, true crime, conspiracy theories, legends, and
Unsolved mystery.
solve mysteries. And we do all of the research for you, and we bring it here, report on it. So if there's something that you guys want to see in particular, please feel free to comment down below. Let us know because we're here for you. So don't be shy.
We'd love to hear your suggestions.
And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button, okay? Give it a good little smash. And comment.
All right, so this video, I think this is the first of this kind of video that we do. It's going to be a little on the paranormal side. So if you guys
This is not for the faint of heart, okay?
Oh, it's really not. It's scary, and
It's scary.
It's gonna get scary. If you're into the Conjuring series and that universe, then this is the video for you. We love the Conjuring series. So we actually had a movie marathon where we watched everything in chronological order, which we highly recommend.
So cool.
Yeah, that series is so good, and the way the movies connect, super good. We could write like the order down below for you.
Like how it is chronologically as far as when the movie itself is set, because you see more that way. It's kind of like, I feel like it's the Marvel movie for like horror. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So in the Conjuring universe, you have two different Conjuring movies, Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, and exciting, if you're into this, they're coming out with a third one soon. I don't know, I'm sure they kind of pushed back the release date because of the virus that's going on, but it's in the works, so we're really excited about that. They also have 3 Annabelle movies, a Nun movie, and there's a rumor going around that they're actually making a second Nun, which is good, because she honestly, I think that's one of the scariest characters for me, at least.
Really?
Yes. In the second Conjuring movie itself, she was scary. Maybe in the Nun, we saw her a lot, so it was kind of, she lost her, like...
That's true.
You know, her...
Yeah, her scare.
Yeah, but definitely in the second Conjuring, I was like, oh, heck no. Like, I had nightmares of that freaking chick.
I think Annabelle's the scariest one for me.
Annabelle, why is that?
I don't know. I feel like dolls have always freaked me out.
Yeah.
And like, just to think of a possessed doll. No, thank you.
And then they have the La Llorona movie, which actually we haven't seen that one.
No.
It's on the list. We honestly actually didn't know that it was a part of the series until like a few months ago. Like it was.
Yeah.
And apparently Annabelle makes an appearance, which is interesting.
A little Easter egg.
That's cool. That's really cool because then there's the connection. So today we're going to be talking about 2 different cases. We'll be talking about Annabelle, the story, as well as the Perron family. So the story goes, in 1968, a nursing student named Donna was given a doll for her birthday from her mom. And the mom had actually bought this doll for her at an antique store. And there wasn't really anything particularly special about the doll. It was your typical Raggedy Ann doll. But Donna was excited to use this doll to decorate her apartment. She had a small apartment, and she shared this apartment with her roommate. Her name was Angie. And pretty soon after she received this doll, though, some weird stuff started happening.
So Donna would always keep the doll close to her bed, but then she would find the doll sitting in different positions. Like her legs would be crossed, or she would be laying on her side. Then it went from just changing positions to Donna finding the doll in different locations in her apartment. But she claimed she would never move the doll herself, and her roommate said she never moved the doll. So that's pretty creepy.
Oh, heck no.
Like, I feel like after that, I'm done.
Yeah, that would be it for me.
Okay.
Okay, so we're getting rid of the doll.
I don't know how they kept that after that. Nope.
Can you imagine? I'm sure maybe at first she was like, am I just seeing things? Like, is Julie, are you, like maybe like the first few times I'd be like, okay. But then like, no, after that I would be like, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
For me.
Because
I don't get it.
I mean, you try to put like in your head, you kind of try to brush it off. You're like,
Right.
there's no way. Like this, you're not gonna think this doll's alive.
You're trying to rationalize it.
Yeah, exactly. So creepy.
Donna and Angie actually started finding notes that were left randomly in their apartment with paper that they didn't even have, parchment paper. And on these notes, it would say things like, help me, help us, help Lou. Lou was actually Donna's boyfriend. So that's really creepy.
Yeah.
And the girls came home from school one day. They both were nurses in the nursing program. And they found the doll sitting on Donna's bed with what appeared to be blood on the doll's hands. That's a wrap. Like, that is a wrap for me. And then also escalating even further, they didn't get rid of the doll still. One night, Lou spent the night, Donna's boyfriend, and he swears he had the most vivid dream of this doll strangling him, choking him out. And when he woke up, he had marks around his neck. And then not only that, he saw the doll sitting on the foot of his bed.
That is so creepy. So after all that, they were terrified and they decided to contact a local medium, and together they held a seance. So the medium said that a girl named Annabelle Higgins, who used to live on the property before the apartments were even built, actually died at the age of 7 there. And then the medium said that Annabelle just wanted to be the girl's friends and and to just treat her like she was another roommate, pretty much. She also made the suggestion to the girls to allow Annabelle to inhabit the doll, because that's what the medium said that she wanted to do. And the girls did. And just things never got better. So Donna decided they should look into getting more professional help. I personally would not have taken that advice.
Okay, but first of all, like, what do you do in this situation? The first thing you think about is, oh, let's contact our local medium.
Right?
Just get rid of the doll. That's what I don't get. That's what's weird. But, to each their own, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know if like it was fear, like these girls were scared of this doll, so they were like, okay, let's just let her do whatever she wants.
That's true.
Type of thing.
I don't know. So Donna decided to contact Ed and Lorraine Warren. So if you've seen the Conjuring movies, you know that this is the main couple, and they're also, I believe they're in an Annabelle movie as well.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm pretty sure. But they're the main and the prominent paranormal investigators. And after performing an investigation, the Warrens came to the conclusion that the doll was not possessed by the spirit of a sweet, innocent 7-year-old girl, but that of an inhuman, malicious spirit, which they believed to honestly, basically a demon. Warrens genuinely believed that the ultimate goal of this doll was to eventually inhabit one of the girls. It was looking for a human host. So basically, they did the wrong thing by allowing this spirit to inhabit the doll, because it's just one step closer to, according to the Warrens. So Ed and Lorraine decided that there was only one option, that they had to take the doll and lock it somewhere safe. So while driving back to their home with the doll, Ed wanted to actually stay off of the highways because he was concerned that something might go wrong. But according to Ed, things went wrong anyways. Their engine went out, the car steering stopped working, that's really scary, and their brakes were on the fritz. And I think he even mentioned that at one point he was like throwing holy water in the back, like trying to like bless her and make it safe to their home.
That is so creepy. Nope.
Oh my God. But they actually made it safe, so.
Yeah. So, and then they have her in a special glass case made just for her. And that's where she sits today with a caution sign that reads, "Warning, positively do not open." And the Warrens said that they had a priest come regularly to bless Annabelle. And what's interesting is that the Warrens actually had a room in their house filled with artifacts from all kinds of different cases that they had investigated. But they said out of all of the items that they have collected from all of these cases, this doll is by far the most dangerous, which is just creepy. But I mean, it makes sense because they made a whole freaking case for it.
A whole
Yeah.
case. Can you imagine though having this in your home?
I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they lived. And like they raised a daughter too, with like this room in their home. That's all these things from all these cases, like how, I guess they knew how to control it. I don't know.
One of the most haunted places in the world because of the things that are in here. Everything in here has been taken from some place where people are either killed or maimed or so many ways. So it's tragic for me, you know, to even go in. People are very, very interested in the museum. And there's some people that are afraid to even go in. Right here is a conjuring mirror. Everything and anything in here we have investigated. Don't ever touch anything. And if you do, let me know. This is the worst thing in here. It's that doll. I'm not gonna stare at it though. So you can take the picture, but I'm not gonna stare at it because that has done bad harm on a lot of people.
Well, yeah, so a little bit of background. We know Ed, he knew how to perform exorcisms. And then Lorraine was actually a clairvoyant, so she could see ghosts, talk to ghosts. I think that they saw themselves as doing like a service for people who were looking to, you know, escape from these horrible happenings from, you know, demonic presence. What's interesting is that the museum actually, well, they turned it into a museum, and it used to be open to the public, but we did some research and we found that it's not currently open, it's closed, but they were looking to find a new building to hopefully relocate and open again, essentially, which I really hope they do because I would like to go. I think it's really
I would like to go too.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, to see all those things. I mean, I've heard people say that they've seen Annabelle.
Yeah.
And I think like they've touched like the glass or something and like just bad things have happened afterwards. Like I think this guy got into like a motorcycle accident and just creepy stuff. So
really creepy stuff. So for those of you who have actually seen the movies, The Conjurings, the Annabelles, we are sorry to admit that Annabelle Creation, and Annabelle Comes Home are all actually made up stories, that none of those really happened. Of course, it's Hollywood, so they have to make the story interesting and engaging. Yeah. And they want to go more in depth as far as the background. So those are basically what those movies were about. The movie that actually had the most facts was actually in the first Conjuring. So if you've seen it, then you remember that the scene opens with 3 kids, students, 2 girls and a boy sitting, and they're talking to Ed and Lorraine Warren about their experience with the doll. And they actually take the doll from them. And then it goes into the whole Conjuring movie story. But from what you watch in the movie, it's basically all accurate as far as what Donna said happened. So that's pretty interesting that they added that part. The other 3 Annabelle movies were basically, like we said, just for an origin story of where the doll came from, how she ends up in an antique shop, and ending with the crazy story of how Annabelle once again causes some more chaos, but this time it was in the Warrens' home, and that's when you see kind of their daughter handling, going through all that stuff, which is crazy. But unfortunately, or fortunately, none of that stuff happened. It was just all
for movie.
For fun. Yeah.
Another major change in the movie was what the doll actually looked like. So Annabelle in real life was just a Raggedy Ann doll, not the evil looking porcelain doll that we see. But obviously for movie purposes, they're not going to just put a Raggedy Ann doll, because that, I feel like I wouldn't have been scared. I would have been like, okay.
Can you imagine?
You're just chilling. But the Warrens claimed, since having the doll in their possession, the tragedy didn't stop. Lorraine claimed after a visitor in their museum was banging on the glass and mocking the doll, Ed kicked him and his girlfriend out, and apparently the couple crashed their motorcycle head-on into a tree. That's what I was talking about earlier. So the man died and his girlfriend was hospitalized, which is insane. So if you ever see the doll, just don't
play around. Okay.
Nope, I don't play
She's
with those.
coming for you. She's coming for you.
So true. And while filming, the actors said strange things started to happen on set. So like the lights would randomly flicker and turn off. The actress who plays the Warrens' daughter said she got a terrible nosebleed during filming, but she said as soon as she left set, it stopped. And then others on set claimed their watches would stop working once they stepped on set. Now, all of this might be a coincidence, but it was just very interesting to mention because stuff like this has happened before in movies like Poltergeist and stuff.
Particularly horror movies, which is really interesting.
Well, the first time we were all collectively together on the set, like after having known that we booked it, we were looking at some of the scenes and how we were going to do it, and it was very exciting and fun. But then the lights turned off, and you yelled Annabelle, and so that was fun, but kind of frazzled us. A little bit on edge, just sitting there. But then whenever the lights turned back on, my nose was bleeding really bad.
Just dripping. Just
yeah.
out of nowhere.
And, just like, I looked like a murder scene.
Super creepy. So yeah, that is the Annabelle case. And we're gonna go on to the next case, which is the Perron family. So if you've seen the first Conjuring movie, you know a little bit about the Perron family. They were a real family. Carol, Roger, and their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cynthia, and April. They moved into a 14-room farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island. It was their dream home, so they poured all their money into this house. And the home was built in 1736 and was surrounded by 200 acres. And this is the home that you see in the Conjuring movies.
So after they moved in, the hauntings began pretty quickly. They started to notice that several bizarre circumstances. They heard strange voices in the middle of the night. They said that furniture would move on its own, or it would be found in a different place than where they left it. And they kind of just at first, like what you do, you rationalize it. You kind of explain it away. Oh, it's just an old house, creaky noises and whatnot. But things would only get worse. Cindy, one of the daughters, actually said in an interview, things would either be moved all around in a different position than how they left them, or they would all be shoved up underneath the bed. And then she would ask her sisters if they moved it, but they always said they didn't. And they said that their neighbors warned them to sleep with the lights on, but they never told them why. So,
red flag.
Yep, another one, yet again. The parents soon realized that the house was the site of many violent acts, including suicides, drowning, rapes, and murders. I'm sorry, but I don't care how good you got it, like the price, how nice the house is, I'm out.
Yep, 100%. So at first, the spirit seemed kind of harmless. The girls claimed the ghost tucked them in at night. Cynthia said, and this is a quote from her, "When we first moved into the house for the first 2 months, there was a woman that came and kissed me every night on the forehead that I thought was my mother." I feel like I would have known that it was a ghost and not my mom.
Right?
But...
Like, how do you not know the difference?
Okay, sure. And then the parents were the ones that started experiencing like the worst of it, the more sinister stuff. Roger, the father, would open the front door and be overwhelmed with a horrible odor. And the family started noticing something was tormenting Carolyn, which was the mother. The girls started to hear malevolent voices, and every night the family would wake up at 5:15 a.m. To the smell of rotting flesh, and sometimes their beds were levitating.
So all of this started happening. Carolyn, who was the mother, decided to do some research of her own, and she found that 8 generations of the same family had lived in this same house. And a lot of those members of the family had mysterious or horrible deaths in that exact place. And some which were suicides, or others were murdered, and some were even children that had said to be drowned. it was recorded that Carolyn, who was again the mom, got it the worst out of the family. She said that something began to torment her. She claimed that she was visited at night by a woman in gray whose head was hanging by her side. The woman told her to leave or she would be driven out with doom and gloom. What the hell?
So scary. That I would have been out. I would have been like, hey,
I don't
you want me to go? I'm gonna go.
Okay, hey Karen, I'm leaving.
I'm out. So this is when the Warrens came in. A family friend had actually called them because they were working on other cases in the area. And then once the Warrens heard about this one, they decided to go ahead and investigate. And they figured out that the ghost haunting Carolyn was Bathsheba Sherman. She lived in the farmhouse in the 19th century. She had 4 children, 3 of them who died when they were children, and she was accused of sacrificing one of the neighbor's babies to Satan by stabbing him in the back of the neck with a sewing needle. Though evidence could never be held up in court for that, so no one ever knew if she actually did that. But the local lore says that Bathsheba was a witch who made a pact with the devil in which she was granted youth and beauty, but in return she would be turned into stone upon her death, and as a ghost she was condemned to torture people.
So Carolyn claimed that the ghost would personally torment her physically and emotionally, as if she was possessing her. She received a mysterious stab wound on her leg that Lorraine said was from Bathsheba. Andrea, the daughter, said whoever the spirit was, she perceived herself to be the mistress of the house, and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position. Wow.
Yeah.
The parents claim that the Warrens actually made things worse, that their presence aggravated the ghost more. So the Warrens and the parents actually conducted a seance in the basement of their home, but Lorraine actually will never talk about it because whatever happened during the ritual, she was clearly disturbed by whatever she saw, and who knows. But Andrea snuck down there to the basement while this was going on, and she said she saw her mother speak a different language that she didn't know, and in a voice that was not her own, and her chair also was levitating, and that she was thrown across the room. Can you imagine seeing that?
Like, how do you look at your mom the same?
Not only that, but like I feel like everything I know, like just throw me in like a mental institution.
Yeah, no. So after that, the Warrens continued to visit the parents for as long as they lived there, but their best efforts did nothing to alleviate the paranormal activity in the house, and the parents stayed there for like a decade. They couldn't afford to go anywhere else, and they had put all their money into that house, but they had to stay there with like this stuff going on.
Which kind of makes you wonder, like, okay, is some of this like fabricated? Because
Yeah.
like if I have no money, I don't care. I'm calling up somebody, a friend, a family member.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing something. If like you're being tormented to this, to that extent, like, oh
yeah.
no.
It's scary. And that's why a lot of people think that this is made up. But who knows? It could be, it can't be. Maybe
they got used to it, or I don't know. Who knows?
There are like people who have interviewed them who say that when this family talks about the ghosts, they kind of talk about them in like not an endearing way, but kind of like they were just like there, like they were just roommates. They were just like it was normal to them.
Which kind of makes you wonder, like, were they at once like possessed by something that made them like kind of okay with it, or who knows, dude? Who knows?
It's so weird. So weird.
So kind of an update of where the family are today. Andrea, who's the oldest daughter, wrote a book about their experience, and it's called House of Darkness, House of Light. And she claims that even after they moved, the ghost became attached to them and their family. So I guess maybe if moving didn't obviously change anything, because this ghost stayed with them, according to them. So maybe that's something they realized, and I don't know. That's just weird.
Yeah.
She claimed that the ghost followed them even after they moved and lived with them, still haunting them for years after. And Lorraine Warren and the Perron family actually had a hand in overseeing in the making of The Conjuring. And Andrea claimed that the film actually toned down what the family personally experienced. I can't imagine.
Have you seen the film?
Yeah, if you see that movie,
Yeah. Like toned down? No. So now, well, not now, but like after them, Norma Sutcliffe and Gary Helfrich, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, who lived in the home when The Conjuring came out, said they did not experience anything, any paranormal activity, nothing. So who knows, maybe the ghosts did attach themselves to that family.
really left.
Yeah. And they actually sued the movie studio for damages caused by trespassing fans. A lot of people who saw the movie, they obviously wanted to go to see the house. And I can't imagine living there, not really believing in any of this, not experiencing it, and then having all these people come to your house. So yeah, they sued the movie studio. And then Corey and Jennifer Heinzen, who currently live on the property, say they do experience paranormal activity. So like footsteps, slamming doors, and they have actually expressed interest in someday opening the property to public, which is really cool, and I will be the first in line.
Same, let's go. It's funny because we
Please.
talk about like, oh my God, like I would never live there, but we'll be the first to visit.
Yep, 100%. I would love to visit. So some of the movie connections from like real life and the actual movie, the game hide and seek, if you see in the movie, was actually much scarier in real life, which in the movie it's already scary. So
I think
can't
that's
even
one of
imagine.
the scariest parts for me.
Yeah.
Like, that was,
Yeah, in the movie, Carolyn's blindfolded and then she claps for her daughters, like they're playing hide and seek, and then her daughters are supposed to clap back. But in return, Bathsheba is the one who actually repeatedly claps her hands to torment Carolyn, and it's just, the scene is just, it's really creepy. So in real life, during one of the games of hide and seek, Cindy, one of the daughters, decided to hide in the woodshed. She climbed into the wooden box with a wooden panel covering her. So there was no latch, no keys, like nothing. It's just a wooden panel covering her that she was obviously able to lift. And once she realized her sisters weren't coming after her, she decided to let herself out. But once she pushed the panel up, it would not budge. There was no air holes or anything, so she was hysterical. She was crying, she was screaming for 20 minutes. And when she realized no one was coming, she just kind of laid there. So her sister Nancy, yeah, like so scary. So her sister Nancy finally came to look for her, and she just pushed open the lid like easily. Like there was nothing there. There was nothing on top of it. Like she just pushed it open. I can't even imagine like what she was thinking or what was going through her head. And then in the, like we mentioned in the movie, you'll see that the family leaves the house, but in reality, they stayed there for an entire decade. And it's because the economy tanked and Carolyn and Roger put everything they had into the house. No one had money to buy the house from them, so they were kind of stuck living there. And the hauntings obviously continued until they left in 1980.
a long time
10 years.
to be tormented like that.
Yeah, 10 years. Nope, that's insane. Like what that family must have gone through. Like if this is real. Mm-mm.
So we also think it's worth mentioning that a lot of people discredit the Warrens completely, that they kind of just make up these stories as they go. They pay off these people, these families, or they're kind of exploiting it, turning the story around into something it's not. And they've just been collecting quote unquote junk over the years to kind of sell tickets, if you will, to their museum to see all these haunted things. So just kind of a way to make money. Of course, there's been books and movies, obviously, with the Conjuring series, but we do think it's worth mentioning. But what do you think?
I don't know, like, I don't not believe that kind of stuff because I feel like so many people, I've kind of experienced things, but not like that, but so many people have experienced things, people I'm close to, people who wouldn't lie. So it's like, yes, maybe the Warrens just did this for money, but like, I don't personally think they did. Like are so many things and so many witnesses, and like they spent their whole lives doing this, you know?
Yeah, they devoted their lives to this.
Their entire lives to this. I feel like you have to be like deranged to want to.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something else, to want to do this, like to be interested in it so much, to like make a career off of it. Like,
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. You would have to be deranged. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of it, of course, was like fabric, some of it.
Yeah.
But I honestly believe that some of it is true. I really do.
Same here. Yeah, I honestly believe that they were just trying to help people, and people experience these things and they don't know where to go. Like, what do you do? I wouldn't know what to do if I experienced this. Like, it's
Who do you
great.
call? Like, who? I would never know what to do in this situation.
No, I don't know. So
You look for people who claim to know what to do. So
Yeah.
and the Warrens did. So.
exactly. But we're interested in knowing what you guys think. So let us know in the comments below. Do you believe that the Warrens were real, or like, do you think it's all fake? And then also let us know your favorite movie in the Conjuring universe. We would love to know that. And then maybe we could talk about a couple of other ones and things that happen. We definitely want to make this like a series. So definitely talking about like the Warrens
many
cases and
stories.
stuff.
So many Warren cases, and we're
So
really
many.
interested in it. So, and if you guys have one in particular that you want us to touch on, please let us know,
Mhm.
and we'll do it. We'll talk about it.
For sure.
If you guys aren't aware, we are a 2-woman powerhouse. We have
Yes.
platforms, guys. Okay, so if you like reading, we got a blog. If you like quick little Instagram posts, we got an Instagram. You want a 1-minute video? Check out our TikTok, guys. Come on, we're here.
We got it all.
We got it all. Links will be down below.
Yes. And let us know what you like to see. And yeah, that's it for us. We'll see you in our next video, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.